A lot of folks have been asking a similar question lately. You're watching what's happening, the volume of it, the pace of it, and you want to do something. But everything feels so relentless that by the time you process one thing, 3 more have already happened. And that feeling of being overwhelmed gets misread as helplessness. Those are not the same thing. The chaos is the point. So when power moves faster than comprehension, a certain percentage of people freeze and disengage. There's no accident there. So before we get into anything specific, the answer to an overwhelming number of fronts is not to cover all of them. It's to pick one. Do something real on one. And trust that other people are doing the same elsewhere. That is how distributed pressure actually works. All right, here are 4 things. I think they're non-obvious. 1 or 2 of them might be to you, but mostly non-obvious and with a wide range of lift. And these are actually useful right now. First one is strategic economic redirection. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the institutions that process it. Banks, platforms, vendors, retailers. A significant number of those institutions are right now either directly profiting from policies you find objectionable or actively lending infrastructure to them. This is more granular than a boycott. The low-lift version is one account being moved, one subscription getting canceled, one automatic payment that's redirected. Probably 20 minutes of research and one decision. The higher lift version is organizing that same action among a defined group, like a union or a congregation or a neighborhood association, so the signal is much louder. Now here's why this works. Large institutions don't respond to anger. I'm sorry to tell you, but they respond to unpredictability in their numbers. And small, consistent pressure across many people shows up in ways that outrage alone just doesn't. Number 2, become a local node. You might have a better term for that, but that's what I have. When systems get unreliable, when information is contested, when people don't know what's real, the thing that holds communities together is trusted people, not platforms, people. A local node is someone known to be reliable, someone who tracks what's actually happening locally and specifically, and who can be reached when something goes wrong. If you truly have the capacity, this could be you. And the low-lift version looks something like pick one issue, like court dates in your county, school board decisions, local enforcement patterns maybe, and become the person in your immediate circle who actually knows what's happening with that thing. You don't need any platform to do this, which is nice. And the higher lift version, if you're able, is like make yourself a connective point between other nodes. So you know who the labor organizer is, who the legal observer is, who the emergency housing person is. And when someone calls you, you connect them fast. This is infrastructure. It's not visible, it won't go viral, but when things get harder, and I want you to know things will likely get harder, the people who have built this will have something. And the people who didn't will be scrambling to start from zero. Before I talk about the last 2, I should mention that a visual version of this will be coming out in a few days. I know folks often ask for visual versions, like text versions, that they can share. So just follow along, keep checking my daily posts, and one of them in the next few days will be a text version of what we're talking about here. All right. Targeted credential withdrawal. So this one is specifically for professionals like doctors, lawyers, academics, licensed practitioners, credentialed experts of any kind, really. Because institutions borrow legitimacy from the people who participate in them. Think advisory boards or expert panels or credentialing committees. These structures function because respected people lend them their names and their time. And when those people stop doing that, selectively, visibly, and with a stated reason, the institution loses something it can't easily replace. Now, to be clear, this isn't quitting your job. This is withdrawing optional participation from structures being used to rubber stamp decisions made in bad faith. It's sending a letter, declining an appointment or a reappointment, and very importantly, publishing a short statement about why. If you hold credentials, identify one body where your presence is being used as cover rather than counsel, and make a deliberate, documented decision about it. Because withdrawals that are documented and public become part of the record, and records matter. Number 4, build or join what we could call a local intelligence network. Now, this may not be in the spy thriller sense, but maybe, if it makes it fun for you. But I'm thinking about it more in the original sense, like a small group of people sharing verified, specific local information directly with each other. What's actually happening in your county's courts? What enforcement actions have taken place in your city? What federal funding has been cut to your school district or hospital? What have local officials committed to publicly? Most people don't know because most people are consuming national level information at best. And that is, by its necessity, just overly general. But the leverage points where action actually produces change are almost always local and specific. This can be 4 people in a shared document and a weekly check-in. It doesn't need to be public. It doesn't need to announce itself. It just needs to produce accurate, actionable local information that people can actually use. Now, none of these things are really that glamorous, but I gotta tell you, neither is having what you need when you finally need it. Okay, so I need to close by saying this. The window of opportunity for this kind of organizing is not permanently open. There are things that are easier to build before a crisis climax than during one. And right now, the building is still possible. So pick one thing from the list. For God's sake, not the most impressive thing, but the one you will actually finish. Not even the one that you can finish, the one that you will actually finish. That is the standard. Not heroicism, completion. A lot of people finishing real things in different ways, at different levels, that is what pressure actually looks like.